are currently ongoing. Later on, or actually in a short while after a very short break, I'll be sitting down with the managing director and founder of Adams Group. How do you ensure that you have the right tools, the right empowerment tools for your business? How do you ensure that your organization is technology focused and is driven to empower even the youth? I'll be sitting down with Adams Tuva, to help me understand exactly how he's been able to do that. So definitely stay tuned. After a short while, I'll be back on Biashara Tuesday. My name is Richard Okenye. Right. Thank you very much for still staying with this broadcast on the 17th of November of 2020. This is Biashara Tuesday, the launch where we bring you the best of the best in terms of business that is happening in the country, and also advice for you as well. You get to learn and you get to see what others are doing. I am sitting down with someone with experience that is spanning a decade, and someone who's done business that has impacted a lot of brands all across the country. Adams Tuva is with me in studio. Thank you very much. You are the managing director and founder of Adams Group, yes, and your name is still Adams. How does that work out?
Basically, I wanted people to associate the brand to me. So I wanted when people, let's assume you want to buy real estate from me. It feels better if you're dealing with someone who you actually know. When you say the name Adams, it comes to head. So that was my thought from the beginning. So having all the brands under my name feels more personal to the client. Yes.
For 10 years, you've been in the real estate and technology industry.
Yes.
How do the two intertwine, or how do you balance between the two? Real estate and technology, I feel like are very different sort of fields. Okay. How do you mix the two?
Okay, basically, when I was starting off, my thinking was that I'm passionate about technology. Right. I'm passionate about real estate. If you look at the world right now, at the globe, the only two things which are always constant and always growing are real estate and technology. Everything else comes and goes, right? So I thought, how do I dock into these two elements? So we started with one brand, yeah, when you started off. And that grew to 2 to 3. Over the last 10 years, we now over 15 or 13 or so brands. Right. So what we do is we do a lot of projects in technology, and the resources we have in technology is what we translate into real estate. So when we make money on technology projects, we invest into it, and that's how the two relate.
Right.
Yes.
So now you have worked with several brands to give them empowerment tools. What are these empowerment tools that you give to these brands? Okay.
For starters, my focus is, when I look at everything that we've built, it's a matter of how do we empower people to move to the next level. So for starters, we have a brand called Bidomain Kenya. Bidomain Kenya allows you to have an online presence. So you'll go to bidomainkenya.co.ke, you search for your domain, you add hosting, you add a security certificate, right? At the end of it all, we can help you make a website. So that's online presence, right? We now have a new tool called Workplace. I realized with the COVID, you need to interact with your team.
Even
right?
As they are remotely.
Yes, even as they are remotely. How do you do Zoom calls? How do you manage your payroll? How do you, how do you assign tasks, right? So I realize all the tools that are currently big are mostly international. Why don't we develop a team which we can actually talk to SMEs and figure out, okay, what do you need done here? Yeah, what tools can we add? So we customize it depending on the account. So the first 30 days are free. You come in and you use the tool for that, and if it adds value to your life, right, then you can say, okay, fine, I'll have a subscription. It's 300 shillings a month, which is
so it's really affordable.
It's very affordable.
300 when someone sees the brands that you work with, they think that
it's really expensive.
That you provide are very expensive.
They're very expensive. And I'll give you the history. As in, one of my companies called Africa Blue Webs was assigned a very big task. We develop big CRMs for big organizations. But then I thought, okay, fine. What about the young people like me who are starting Biashara? What can they use? So we consolidated most of the products we are assigning to the big brands, and we put them into one platform. We call it Workplace. So you come in, create an account, workplace.bz. BZ.
Why BZ?
For me, businesses, I wanted something very short,
Right.
very catchy. So workplace was just stuck to me.
Right.
So you come in, create an account, and you can interact. You create employee accounts. So you have an administrator account, and you can create employee accounts, and the whole organization runs smoothly. You can schedule Zoom calls, reminders on text message, reminders on email.
Right.
So it's very fancy, but very affordable.
It's a very collaborative tool, I feel,
Yes.
even for businesses. And I would love to understand what levels of, what level does my business have to be for me to get the empowerment tools that you have at Adams Group? Because maybe I own a fleet of border borders, and on the other hand, someone else has like a very advanced technological startup.
Yes.
So how do the two, do you have tools that can still cater for the two different types of businesses?
Yeah, sure. So, for example, if you're a startup, I'll go back to the workplace project. It can have one employee. It can have one user, right? And you manage your own personal life. So you don't even have to be, you can be thinking, okay, I want to start a business tomorrow. How do I, whatever. You can have your businesses, let's say your prospects, in the same system, reminds you, whatever, sends them invoices, all right, all that. So that is one tool which works. For example, another tool like Buy Kenya. Buy Kenya is a huge online store.
Right.
We have thousands and thousands of products. So you can partner with us and say, okay, fine, Adams, we're trying to push product A, right? Can we have a space on your platform?
Right.
And we'll give you a whole page just for you.
Right.
So as people are coming and scanning on the website, they actually find you, right? And we relay the orders directly to you. So we just act as a middleman, and the facilitation fees, and that allows you to reach thousands of people in Kenya and around the globe.
For the 10 years that you have been in operation for the Adams Group, business has shifted. 10 years ago, business wasn't the same that it is right now.
Yes.
How is the shift for you? How would you feel the shift is for you as Adams Group, as well as the businesses that you cater for, generally?
A big thing that has come our way is automation. Most of our business, 80% of them are automated. So you realize, for example, if you go onto one of our places, I like coming back to Buy Domain Kenya. It's one of our biggest brands. So you go to Buy Domain Kenya, you search for a domain, you add your hosting and all that, you get an invoice. The invoice comes up and you can pay on M-Pesa. The pop-up will come onto your phone, you'll pay, right? Your account will be activated, everything without having to talk to me. Yeah, without having to talk to anyone. The same invoice will come to you after 365 days to tell you, okay, fine, boss, you have run this for 1 year, your account is now due, right? Can you renew? So it allows the business to run on its own with the minimal kind of workforce. So whether Adams is in Kenya, Adams is in Dubai, the business just runs, right, with very minimal support. So automation has become a very big part of our business. Yeah. Right. In the real estate side, you don't have to take someone on site. With the COVID and all that, all we do is just, we have a virtual tour. Right? So evolution, ages ago, you have to take someone to the shamba, let's say it's in Kilifi, it's in Malindi, you have to send someone to the shamba. These days, just send them a Google link and it will pick exactly whatever it can tell. We are next to a school, it's next to the road, it's next to the airport.
You can see the whole
exactly,
thing
yes. You can have, it saves on expenses, right? So for us, technology and automation have really
been the big shift
yes,
for businesses, even for yourself and
even
for other businesses as well. Exactly. You work with startups and you are really keen on empowering the youth, especially technological startups, I will understand. How many startups have you worked with for the past long that you've been in operation?
Wow, so many. As in, for one brand alone, we do almost 20,000, 30,000 people. Right. Yeah.
Wow,
yes. And some of the people have never even met us. Don't even know who the owners are, but they come, subscribe, and they pay. Things like workplace, we just go in to customize some few things. Like Adams, we need the biometric integrated to the system. So that's some extra steps we go. And in that particular case, we have to go and meet the client. But on normal days, people will come and they keep on paying, and the services are good, right? So it works out. We're also starting a program where we want to empower around 400 startups in Kenya, where we are allowing them to get a free domain, hosting SSL, and a free website. This is fully sponsored by our partners. So people are giving us money to say, okay, Adams, what can we do for the young people?
Is it possible for you to say your sponsors?
No, not yet. When the time comes, maybe I'll share that.
Right.
But what we're currently doing is that we're allowing the youth to send in a video, right, saying this is me, this is what I do, this is how I'll impact my community if I get this grant, right? So the grant allows you to have the website done. It allows you to get the domain paid for 5 years.
That's a long time.
5 years. So
like, understand how expensive it is to maintain a domain.
It's very expensive. So as in, if I can get that headache off your mind that, okay, for the next 5 years, you have training, you have your domain paid for, you have your website up and running, right? You just think about, how do I grow my business, right? That is your only
everything
focus.
Is catered for.
Everything is catered for. For the top 10 guys from the 400, we are giving them incubation for a whole year. For a whole year.
That's a long time.
Yeah, so let's say you're a business person, you can bring 2 other people, and we give you incubation and training. This means office space. Office space in Nairobi is very expensive.
Very.
Yeah, for a whole year, right? And still, even after you get off the program, after the following year, you have 4 years paid for. You just need to figure out, how do I get business? That should be your only focus. Yeah. Right. So that's how we've impacted the...
Right. Now, in terms of generally the startups plus the business that you empower with the tools for operation,
yes,
do you provide as well technical support for them even after they already subscribe to your platform?
Yeah. So most of the people who knew me ages ago have my number. So guys like texting, guys like WhatsApp, and people feel very good when they, I can text to this guy will sort me out. But on another level, all the websites have a chat bot, which is linked to people who are always supporting all the brands.
Automation really is a big deal for you guys.
Yeah, automation is everything for us. And this is 24/7, right? If you chat us at midnight, there's someone who will respond to you, right? So you'll get in a Tomoki fan, there's this problem, whatever, and we try as much as possible to make sure everything is resolved within 24 hours. Yeah, so someone will pick your phone number, email, full name, and they will call you, okay, fine. There was this issue you're having, I think it's been resolved, kindly confirm. So all the brands, I think 99% of the brands we have the chat module, right? Yeah, which is really, really good for us.
Right now, I think the one that I'm really interested in so far, and I feel like we should brush on a bit,
yes,
is the startups that you are about to empower.
Yes.
Maybe now, a small process,
yes,
for someone who really does not understand how exactly to get onto what is being offered. I'm seeing here that, as you mentioned, there'll be a domain name for 5 years, website hosting for the same year, security certificate, website development and support, office space mentorship, incubation for a year, and the top 10 receive each year. Now, I am a startup. I actually do run a startup.
Good.
I want now to know, after I've watched this interview, where exactly do I begin?
The next step will be to, first of all, shoot a video. You can do this from your phone. Okay. Because what you need to understand, there must be accountability for us. I'm not working alone. We're working with other partners who will be the judges, actually, to pick the best 400. So what we're doing is, you shoot a video of yourself explaining, of course, introducing yourself, your age, whatever, what kind of business are you into, the name of the business, what you intend to do. And for us is, how are you going to impact your community? That's really stands out.
That is a big thing.
That's a big thing for us, right? How are you going to touch another 2 people? Are you going to employ another 2 people? Are you helping Mama Mboga? That is the key for us.
Right.
How are you impacting your community? How are you going to help your society? Impact. Yes, that's big for us. So once that is done, you can then send an email to maybe info@adamsgroup.website, right? Just send the video link there explaining what you want us to do for you. Then from there, we'll upload the video. Right, and people will vote. People will vote, and there's a criteria, number of views, the impact it will have on society, what these other partners say, think about the program, and then from there we are picking 400 people. The 400 people are not done in a whole. We're spreading it over 4 years, so 100 people per quarter. Right? It's 100 people per quarter, actually. Right. So every 3 months, we're doing 100 people.
That's still a lot.
It's still a lot, yeah. So we're looking at it over 1 whole year. Right? So we're starting now. By the same time in December next year, we should have done at least the four teams. Yes, the 4 teams. Then from there now, we can pick every batch. We pick 100. So from there, we'll pick the top 10 who will now get into the incubations.
Okay,
right?
so now you are you're going to be working with so many startups.
Yes.
And this is in addition to the brands that you already work with.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to understand, how big is your team that it can handle all this,
Okay.
all this group of people?
Okay, so this particular project is not being done by me alone.
Right.
Right? I'm just, let's say, the mouthpiece or the face of the project.
Right.
But there's so many other people. Actually, you realize that the project will not even run at our offices. It's been run by the incubation program, right?
Right.
So the interviews or whatever will be done from there. We are just part of the tool, because we're the guys who will be doing the websites. We're the guys who will be doing the domain registration. You know, that bit comes to us.
Right.
But you know, you need people who will do mentorships, right? So
So you already have this team in place?
Yes, we are putting it's still not yet complete, but
Oh,
we're
you are
still
putting it up.
yes.
Right.
So the campaign will start, and based on that, we are still reaching out to more partners, guys who are interested in doing the project with us. But at the end of it all, it's a huge team. It's not us alone.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
Emperor Shekhar, who is also the Saint Patron of Entertainment Friday here on KUTV's Rise Today, has a question.
Yes.
He's saying that automation has made business easy. So easy, you can send money from M-Pesa to PayPal direct and then shop on any online platform in the world.
Yes.
So I guess this is in the line of businesses trying to get the domains through you. So he's saying that automation has made it easy now that you don't really need to have a domain. How much is a domain? And the question then will be, how different will it be operating through a business domain for yourself rather than just working through M-Pesa and PayPal?
Okay. So I'll start with the price item. A domain is 1,550 plus VAT
At least.
per year.
Right.
Yeah, that's how cheap it is, and you have yourself and all. You need hosting. Hosting is where your emails and website will go. That's maybe around 2,100 for the whole year. Security certificate is around 3,600. So in less than 10K, let's call it 6,000.
You
already have a website and whatever. The SSL is fancy if you need to look whatever, but a domain and hosting is okay. That's 3,650 plus VAT. Anyone can afford that.
Right.
Right?
True.
Yeah. So in terms of the payment and automation, we use a very... Right now, most people use PayPal. It's international. But what if we can come up with our own?
Right.
Right? So in the background, we're developing something called Paygate. Paygate will be integrated to all our platforms. So we don't have to use third-party payment gateways.
Right.
Right? So this has been going on for almost a year now. So I'm hoping by...
So I'm guessing then also even the APIs that you use are developed by yourself.
Yes, we do have the APIs.
Right.
Yeah. So some of the projects are very huge. The people see the last end. Yeah.
Right.
They see the last. When we start advertising, but they take sometimes many months to develop. Many months.
Right.
Yeah. So we've seen that payment gateways are a big part of Africa, online payment and all that, and we want to basically produce products which can lead the market in that area.
Right.
Yes.
Now, let's get back and wind up with your personal expertise.
Yes.
What is your field of study or skill, the skill that you have, or that makes you really the best person for Adams Group, which I feel you are already?
Yes.
Maybe help us understand how you came to have the knowledge that you have and that you use to run this particular company.
Okay. You realize most of our products are online. Everything is in the cloud. So my background is programming. I'm a programmer. Been programming ever since I was in high school. So
you must be really good.
I'm really good, yeah. I've worked for some local banks, locally, internationally, data centers, right? So security is my thing. This show thing is just a year or two old. I'm just learning this now.
Okay.
But mostly it's been coding. All the brands you're seeing right now have been coded mostly by me.
Right.
But you see, it gets to a point where you need to also forward this to the next generation. So I'm mentoring a few young men and women.
That's impressive.
Yeah, in technology. I'm hoping on a day that Adams is not there, some people can sit down and innovate new ideas for the brand.
And still carry on with
Yes,
the work that you started.
Dream, yeah. This is a generation kind of, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having a sit down with us.
Yes.
Time will not allow us to have this conversation a bit longer.
Yes.
But I'm really glad that we got to cover at least some of the things that you do at Adams Group,
Yeah.
the startups that you are working with and are going to be working with, and also even the brands that you've helped drive growth throughout the 10 years that you've been in operation. So maybe lastly, any business or startup that wants to find you, and maybe any last remarks that you want to give out to the viewers who are viewing, who are watching us today on that camera.
Okay. I would like to encourage people to start business, and it's very simple. All you have to do is just go to buydomainkenya.co.ke, search for your domain, add your hosting, right, and make a payment, and you'll have your online business up and running. I would also encourage people to come on board and jump onto this startup campaign, which are running for the 400 startup coming next year. So you can start early, send us the video to info@adamsgroup.website at the end, right? So adamsgroup.website, and we'll basically receive it and paste it on the channels and figure out how we can help you to grow.
Right, that is Adams Tuva, the managing director and founder at Adams Group, who has helped businesses get empowerment tools and top-notch empowerment tools for that matter, and also technologically driven tools for startups and for businesses. He says that it's really simple to use their tools and it's cheap. You can get some of the support from as low as 300 shillings.
Yes,
300 bob. You can get empowerment tools for your business, so definitely check them out at, or check him out, of course, at tuvaadamstuva.me.ke. You can see his portfolio and the work that he's done so far, and of course, how you can even get more help as we go on. Continue tuning in to KUTV's Rise Today. This is Biashara Tuesday. I'll be back after a short while. Remember, the conversation is still going on. I'll be later on this very same launch with my next guest, who I introduced a bit earlier. I'll be back. Stay tuned.